Hey! If any of you are looking for any last-minute gift ideas for me, I have one. I like Frank Shirley, my boss, right here tonight. I want him brought from his happy holiday slumber over there on Melody Lane with all the other rich people, and I want him brought right here with a big ribbon on his head. And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is! Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Hey, welcome back. My name is Mike. This is Ego and Vice, and this is episode 14. The season finale, I promise. I said episode 13 was supposed to be the season finale, but I had Chris Landry, local musician, in, and we had a long conversation because he is a very interesting dude, and it just went deep into the evening. So anyway, this is the season finale, the last show of 2017. We're going to pick up right where we left off. This is Chris Landry, part 2, Ego and Vice. Okay, so we're going to move on, because you are a layered dude. You're like an onion. You just keep peeling back the layers, and
Didn't think so
there's
until
more
right
and
now.
more to go.
Yeah.
So that band
Chester Story and the Glory
went on, and then that band was done.
Went on to
obviously, because
dissolve.
you're not in that band
No.
anymore.
No.
So what was the next venture in your illustrious...
That would have been the Harvey Cartel back in Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah. And we played for a few years, to critical ignorance. And
Awesome.
yeah, and then I started Glorious Moon Rockets. So the thing about Harvey Cartel, when I came back from Korea, Korea was my first experience playing country music with the guys from Chester Story and the Glory. Like, before that, I was playing blues and folk and stuff, and I listened to Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson and all those guys and stuff, and I liked that music, but I'd never considered that something that I would play.
Right.
And so when I joined that band, it was really an eye-opening experience, and I had so much fun. And I came back to Canada, and I'm like, oh man, I want to start a country band, but I also wanted to play rock and roll because I was really dying to play rock and roll again.
Okay.
And it became Harvey Cartel, which was kind of like a country rock or a southern. I hate saying southern rock because then I think of like a shitty,
like Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I love Lynyrd Skynyrd, but every band that tried to copy them afterwards kind of sucked, or like some kind of like bar blues band where it's just like,
Fair
like,
enough. Yeah.
Dad rock shit. But so I was playing in Harvey Cartel, but I wanted to play something that was like heavier and faster, and so Glorious Moon Rockets was born out of that.
Glorious Moon Rockets.
Yeah.
And who was in that band?
The original lineup was me, Dave on drums, and Andy on bass. So, oh, wait a minute. Man, I can't remember now. Was Andy on bass in that band?
And what era? What year are we talking about now?
That would have been like 2011.
Okay.
Or 10.
We're getting there.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Cool.
Yeah, who was the first bass player in that band? Holy shit. Dave was the first drummer. I can't remember now.
No, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Rotating members, I've had many of them over the course of the years in bands.
Oh, yeah. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, so it's hard to... is there a certain member of a band or a certain instrument that is in a band that you don't get along with on average?
Oh, that I have to like kick out more often than not?
I have serious issues with bass players over the course of my career. If you want to, as you did the nut thing, blah, blah, the
air quotes. Eric Royal, I think, was the first bass player for Glorious Moon Rockets.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's still playing music.
You guys were buds?
How did I meet? Yeah, he was. So actually, this is funny. He was someone that I knew through Miles Howe, who was part of the Bad House Guest. So like from like whatever 6 or 7 years ago. And when I met Eric, that would have been in like 2004, 2005. He was a kid. He was really young. He was like 19 or something, and he looked identical to the kid from Dazed and Confused that gets spanked really bad, like that young skinny kid with long hair. Seriously, like a dead fucking ringer to that kid. But yeah, I think he was the first bass player in Glorious Moon Rockets. Okay. Or one of the first.
Did you go through like a rotating door?
Oh, so many. Yeah. Okay, so I guess to answer your question then, it's fucking bass players.
Bass players. Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too. However, since I've had Paulie in Goat, he's been the bass player in Goat for 7 years. I've had issues with bass players in the past, but me and Paulie get along fucking smashingly.
Yeah, I hope he hears this then and knows how much you appreciate him.
Yeah, he might be one of the 4 that listens. He may be.
Amazing.
Well, anyway.
Paulie, if you have 4 friends, turn them on to this, man.
Yes. He has 2 friends. One of them is me, and one of them is the drummer of the band. So,
well, that's still increasing your listenership by 25%.
That's it.
That's a good return.
All right. So, covered a lot of your history as far as bands, as far as all the stuff you've been through, as far as Korea. Let's get a little bit more up to date.
Current.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to know more about it. I've seen you guys play a couple times. Amazing stuff. Can tell it's directly from your fucking soul, from your heart. This is where you want to be as far as music goes.
You know, this is an interesting experience for me, this whole podcast thing, because it's not often or ever that I would sit down on my own and sort of take stock of what I've done musically. And from what I've learned about all this, as I sit here like with my bullet belt and my bandana, and I'm like presenting myself as this like punk rocker or metalhead, and I love that stuff and I love to play it. I've played a fucking lot of folk and shit that wasn't like, you know, I got to get back into like a really heavy band.
That's cool, man. Like most people that I have on the show, actually, it's just on the show. Jesus Christ,
this is a show, is it not? You
no,
promised me a show.
I guess so. On the show, it's like when they sit down, like I just kind of ask questions and say, "So where you been? Where you from?" And like 3/4 of the way through, they're like, "Holy fuck! I actually have kind of like a story," and that's the thing. That's the reason I do the podcast, because I enjoy, because I've known you for years.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to do this again, and I'll interview you.
Sure. That's what I was saying for like this is episode 13. I was going to do for episode 20, I was going to put a whole bunch of people's names in a hat. Yeah. And I was just going to pull it out, and I'm going to say for episode 20, the person who has been on the show is going to interview me. But
it should just be me. I think.
All right.
Yeah. I think it makes the most sense.
Episode 20, can I lock you in for it?
How long would that be would that be in the warmer weather?
Yeah, that'd probably be more in this. Well, I do 3 to 4 a month. I'm at 13 now, so we're looking at March.
Oh yeah, so yeah. Well, I'm just thinking because we should probably get shit faced, so I won't be able to drive home, or I could Uber or something. Anyways,
yeah, man, you can crash on my floor.
Yeah, pencil me in, as long as it's not the weekend of the 3rd, because I'll be away. But like, yeah.
All right, we'll figure it out. All right, episode 20. You want to interview me for episode 20?
I'll do that. Yeah.
All right, I will. Let's commit to that.
Sure.
Cool. All right, so Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas.
Right. Okay. So that I just found out recently that I had an earlier incarnation of the Seasick Mommas as far back as 2012, and so going back, like when Harvey Cartel turned into the Glorious Moon Rockets, and that was like just purely like a rock punk kind of band, I still was writing folk and country kind of stuff, and I had a side project called the Train Jumpers. We recorded some stuff. We never released anything. I think there's probably still a MySpace out there somewhere with some of our songs on it.
MySpace.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Can you believe that's still hanging around?
I know it's still there, but I haven't been on it in years.
MySpace is that person at the party that doesn't know when to leave.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you. Nobody wants you around anymore. Like, just fuck off. But there was the Train Jumpers, and we actually played quite a bit. We did a lot of shows like at like the Elmdale and the Rainbow, and where else would we play? Man, I can't remember now. Holy shit. my memory is like not very good.
Okay, well, that's.
But
all right.
we played at a lot of places.
I believe you.
Yeah,
That's cool,
yeah. We never released any. We recorded a bunch of music and never released it, unfortunately. And then that kind of sort of came and went. And then I was still doing that kind of stuff, but I guess for whatever reason I wanted to work with a different sort of crew or a different setup, and I created the first incarnation of the Seasick Mommas, and we recorded I think 2 songs, which are actually up there somewhere on a Bandcamp. Don't look for them; they're not. They're not.
Was it called the Seasick Mommas?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only reason I know that it was 2012 is because I was like just Googling the Seasick Mommas because like, you know, trying to see if anybody's reviewed us or is paying any attention. And this article came up from 2012. But that was like really, really short lived. And then Glorious Moon Rockets was sort of taking up most of my time, and that was where my focus was. So like, you know, fast forward 4 years later or something, you know, I was married and then I got divorced, and this album basically came out of that. So it's an album just talking about, you know, that sort of situation and a couple other, you know, it's a bunch of songs about heartbreak mostly.
When I was I was married once upon a time.
Not to me though. We weren't married to each other.
No, we'd probably still be together.
We both like cats.
Yeah, that's right.
We both have long hair.
Yeah. Anyway,
We like to drink.
after I separated with my wife at the time, I actually went into my friend Brian's studio in Studio 169, which doesn't exist anymore. Now it's Shoebox Recording in Canada. Check that out, shoebox.com. I'm not sure what it is. But I recorded like my divorce EP.
Nice.
And I recorded like 4 songs or 5 songs or something like that.
I think it's Dolly Parton has a song that's divorce, but she spells it out. It's like D-I-V-O-R-C-E.
Yeah, exactly.
It's either her or Aretha Franklin, but I think it's Dolly Parton.
Well, I can't write songs as good as Dolly Parton, but I wrote like my divorce EP.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's out there anyway. So go on. Seasick Mommas. The second incarnation. You talked about the first.
Yeah. Well, so it's pretty much the same people actually. Like I think the first incarnation was myself. That was dumb, obviously. Stuart Rutherford was playing with me at the time. Now back in 2012, Stuart Rutherford was also part of the Train Jumpers. He's amazing. He plays like give that man something with strings on it, and he will excel at it. He will play it better than you.
I fucking hate those guys, though.
He's amazing. Yeah, he's a
I
musician
love those guys,
through
but
and
I
through.
hate those guys.
I love having him as he's a fantastic dude too. So I'm like very happy to call him a friend as well. But like I'm thrilled to have him make music with me as well. But at that point, I don't think he was playing pedal steel yet. So he was playing resonator. And I don't know if he was playing fiddle at that point. It might have been mostly resonator. Mm-hmm. And then Jim McDowell was played some keys. So both of them are in the current incarnation of the Seasick Mommas. And all the accolades that I gave to Stuart also apply to Jim as well. Jim McDowell. He's a fantastic human being, an amazing musician, great collaborator. And so yeah, so I you know was really focused on the Glorious Moon Rockets and you know playing lots of shows and stuff, and then went through this divorce and this separation, and you know the stuff I was writing really didn't apply to the rock and roll band, and you know I just felt like it was time to start playing some country folk music again, and this album came about out of that.
Life will the way life goes will set you on a certain path, right?
Yeah, you can. That's the thing that a lot of people I think won't acknowledge is that like you know you obviously you know hope for the best, plan for the worst. And like no matter what you do, there will be things that are going to happen that are out of your control.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this album, like I wrote this, I started writing the songs in like I guess 2015, sort of late 2015. So like the split happened in like June or July of 2015, and you have to process these things. At least for me, I typically tend to write about things sort of after the fact. More recently, I've been able to write like really during that process when something happens. But at that time, I was like, I had to take time to process it. So I started writing in late 2015 into 2016. And then at the end of 2016, I started recording this album and then released it in May of this year. And I've just been playing lots of shows, and I did a short tour of the East Coast in the fall. So
yeah, where'd you go for that?
Went out east. So like, you know, I did Quebec City, Halifax, Fredericton.
Yeah, I followed some of it
John.
on Facebook, but I didn't exactly see where you went and that. How did that go, the tour?
It was a lot of fun. It was amazing. Like, again, a lot of empty rooms. I kind of expected that because this was a brand new project that no one knew much about. And to be perfectly honest, like not that I didn't put enough into it, but I was very last minute on my planning for the tour. So I could have probably been more on top of things and gotten a better response, but whatever. I mean, when you're starting a new project and going out, you gotta expect no one to be there sometimes, because people don't know who the fuck you are, and like, especially when you're coming from another city, unless you have like really great local support and you've really put a lot of work in, like, you got to go out and do those shitty tours. You got to go out and play to nobody, and then they'll want to like this podcast. If you have one friend who likes it and tells another friend and tells another friend, it's like, that's how it starts, really.
Yeah, you got to do it, and that's touring, that's music, that's anything, like media, that's anything, you know. You just do it, and you keep doing it, and you do it with the people that you're like with you do it with your friends in the band.
Well, we did this totally solo, this one.
Oh, you just went out acoustically?
Yeah, it was just me. No, I played electric through an amp, but solo.
Oh, dick, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the band didn't want to go.
Oh, did you do were you like headlining stuff, or just like some opening things, or
headlining?
Wow.
No. No, I was just I was trying to book as many shows with, like, to get on existing bills or to hook up with like local bands that would bring people out. And the shows that I did, they were great, and the shows where that wasn't possible, they weren't as good. Obviously. So.
And how was the response for when there was people there? I
really,
get how
really
it goes,
positive. Yeah. Honestly, like, I was very, very surprised and touched. It's a very personal album, you know. Not that the Glorious Moon Rocket stuff isn't, but there's the difference between pouring your heart out about, like, when you're saying, I'm really hurt by this, or this made me cry, or something like that. You know, it's different than like when you're playing, like, you know, with rock or punk or all these other things. That if you're really making good music, it's from something that's important to you or that touched you in a certain way. But it's a lot different when it's something like this that's like so, you know, personal and revealing.
And and what was the difference between like playing in Ottawa these songs for people you knew, because you knew people in the crowd, these cathartic songs, these like really emotional songs, to go out and like pour your heart out to complete strangers in the crowd?
I think it's easier sometimes.
Was it good for you? Like, did you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a great experience. I think it's easier. I think, you know, it's just like the same. I'm going to reference like the trip to Korea, where when you go to a new place, it's like you're dealing with a blank slate. And not that, I'm trying to think of how to express this properly. Like, there's the weight of expectation that we all feel, consciously or unconsciously. And it's not that you're walking around every day being like, well, I got to be this person because they expect it. But I think we're affected by that. And when you're in a totally new situation, that's very freeing. It's like when you go on vacation or you go to a new place, you're kind of a different person. Like, you're not...
You be anybody you want to be.
Yeah, and you're not burdened by work, and you're not burdened by your parents, or you're not burdened by any of these things, you know? And so going out on the road can be like that too. And especially playing for a new crowd. Like, you know, some of the shows I did, like the best show I did was at a place called the, am I going to remember the name? The Carlton Music Bar and Grill or something in Halifax. And I opened for, Dutch Mason's son, Garrett Mason, who's,
okay.
Oh man, like one of the best guitar players I've ever seen live. But nobody there, like, they were there for him. They weren't there for me. And I was lucky that the promoter there put me on the bill. But I was playing for a bunch of people who had no idea who I was. They didn't know what to expect, and that's very liberating. Like, you just go up and do your thing.
And the response was
really good. Yeah, I sold a bunch of CDs, and people really seemed to enjoy it.
That's rad.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was great.
I love Halifax. Halifax is my favorite city in Canada. I've been there many times. The people are fucking awesome. Played there a few times.
It's great.
Yeah.
My favorite city out east is Sackville, though. I've always had the best fucking time, man. Honestly, like, and that's not detracting. Like, I love Halifax
from the name. Sorry.
You know, but Sackville is the best, man. We had the best shows there and the best response and just like the best parties, everything. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Sackville was amazing.
Why did you do that show just you? Why didn't you bring the band?
That
tour, pardon me.
They weren't able to go on the road. Yeah, like Stu and Jim are both very busy, and I have KJ Thomas, who's singing the female parts on that, or the harmonies and stuff, and who is also equally amazing. But they're all very busy people. They have lives, they have jobs, they have commitments, and like,
tours are tough, man.
I'm not offering you like a huge monetary or any kind of monetary reward. It's like, we're gonna go and see what happens, right?
Right.
And I've toured with Glorious Moon Rockets a few times, and that's different because, like, you know, I think the rock band situation is just a lot different because the people playing that are probably in a different stage than people that are playing more contemporary kind of music like what we're doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so, yeah, they just weren't able to do it. And that was fine. Like, writing this album, the songs were just supposed to be acoustic songs anyways, right? Like, they're, you know, very kind of I don't know if simple is the right word, but kind of bare bones. And it's really evolved from there. Like now I'm playing them on my electric and stuff. But I always pictured myself. I had this sort of like, I thought it was kind of like a romantic notion to go out on the road alone, just me and my guitar and tour around.
I ran into a guy, me and Steph, in my other band called the Copper Altar. We're just an acoustic duo, and we met this guy named Deeds. That was his name.
Deeds.
Yeah, and he basically toured by himself,
Nice.
and he said it was a lonely trip.
Well, I only did a week and a half or so.
Well, still, you know what I mean? Like, you picture like the tour being with like you and your bandmates and stuff like that, and you like play the show, then
Yeah.
you hang out with people, and you go do what you do. But when you're by yourself, it must be very introspective. Just being like, once the show's done, and then you go to your hotel or you go to sleep in your van or whatever. Well, whatever, you sleep in your van or you sleep under a
Floors.
bridge.
Yeah, or people's. This tour was great because I always had a couch or a bed to sleep in with people I knew. So yeah,
Well, that's brave as shit.
didn't sleep in the car as much. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess people say that. I don't find that. Like I thought it was a lot of fun, and so the difference between touring with a band and touring solo, like, of course, like, you know, part of this trip, I was there at the end of September. The weather was amazing. It was like 30 degrees. So I went and found these amazing beaches in Halifax or outside of Halifax that are on the ocean that like are basically tropical beaches in Canada. I didn't know that existed here. Mm-hmm. And so there was moments where I was sitting there being like, wow, it would be cool to have like a friend to share this with. But at the same time, it's really liberating when you wake up every day and you're on your own schedule and you're not trying to like round people up to get somewhere on time, or what are we going to do today? And there's like 4 different ideas of what you want to do. It's just like I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. I was left to my own devices. So, again, it was a week and a half tour in September. The weather was really nice. It wasn't the middle of winter. I wasn't on the road for like 4 months. I mean, yeah, I could see how it could get, a little bit repetitive at that point or lonely, but I didn't feel
I don't
that
know.
at
I
all.
think it's inspiring. I think it's
Sure,
amazing.
it was fun. Like, yeah, I would encourage everybody to do it.
And what did you take from that tour? What did you learn from touring by yourself?
Well, I didn't take
Because not a lot of people tour by themselves. You did that.
Yeah. I mean, I left behind a lot of money in terms of gas and booze and stuff. But what did I take from it?
That's touring.
Yeah. It was great. Like, I don't know if there was like a certain, like one thing I could say that I learned or a theme, but like just knowing that you can do it and that you can, I think it was a unique experience as well, because I've been out east a bunch of times. Like I've toured there with Glorious Moon Rockets, and I did that with Bad House Guests, and like I said, I have good friends in most of the cities out there. So I'm going to a place where I know people. Even if the show is shitty, I'm really happy to see my friends and hang out with them because I haven't seen them in a year or whatever it's been. Talk to me when I've done like the West Coast tour, when I play in like Saskatoon or Sault Ste. Marie or someplace, or however you pronounce it, and like it's cold and shitty and no one there, I don't know anybody and I'm sleeping in my car. That would be a different experience. This is a pretty safe kind of tour.
Fair enough. Let's play a Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas song. What do you want to hear?
Let's do As the Nights Go Shuffling Down. I love that song.
As the Nights Go Shuffling Down. This is Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas. The song is called As the Nights Go Shuffling Down. This is Ego and Vice.
As the nights go shuffling down, as the nights go shuffling down, I'll wait for you as you ask me to. As the nights go shuffling down, as your eyes they fade from sight, as your eyes they fade from sight, I'll remember you as you asked me to. sight as your eyes fade from sight. Shuffling down as the nights go shuffling down. Your skies fade to black as your skies they fade to black as the X's are laid. Well, I'll stand there and I'll wait as your skies fade to black. Your skies fade to black as your hands grow cold and you cannot hold on to life as it slips away. I'll hold all your grays as your colors they fade as the nights go shuffling down, as the nights go shuffling down.
That was Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas, and that was a song called As the Nights Go Shuffling Down. What's the future of the band? Where do you want to go? What are you doing?
Well, we're in the midst of recording our second album right now.
Okay.
It started out actually the same as the first album. Was going to be an EP, and then it became an album. And the same thing is happening now, where it's like, you know, I had a handful of songs, like 3 or 4 songs, and now we're I think up to 7, and I think I have 1 or 2 more I'm going to throw on there.
Are you still recording with Steve Donald?
Yeah, at 10 volt audio.
10 Volt Audio?
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, if you're looking for a place to record something and, very, very affordable, very great space to be creative in. Steve's a great producer. He knows music. He plays music. Like, yeah, I couldn't recommend them highly enough.
And that's in Ottawa?
Yeah, he's in Westboro.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's central too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And he's got a cool dog named Zeus who likes to hang out while he records. So for all you dog lovers out there.
Well, that's super good. All right, so we're here with Chris Landry on Ego and Vice. We have a show coming up, and this is like an annual thing that you do.
It's become an annual thing.
Yeah, it's the Lemmy Re-Visited,
Yeah.
because you're a huge Motorhead fan, which we've touched on earlier in the podcast in episode 1. How did this come about?
Well, it came about from Lemmy dying.
Well, yes, of course, but
Yeah, well, when he passed away in, like, what was that, 2015?
I think so.
Yeah. It was like he was a very iconic person. He had his influence is almost immeasurable in terms of like heavy music, credited as one of the creators of heavy metal.
He is a legend.
Yeah. And just a huge influence on me. So I just decided that I wanted to put on a show just to kind of celebrate the life and the music. And I approached Yogi at Targ. He was on board right away. And so the concept was we'd get a bunch of local bands together and we just play his music. And so, we decided to do that. And then we're like, well, we're going to charge cover. What are we going to do with the money? Like, if we have to split it between 7 or 10 bands, it's not going to be a lot of money. And it doesn't seem right to take money from that and just like, not that it's not right to pay the bands, of course, like bands, especially now more than ever, need to get paid. But because it was a tribute to Lemmy and because he died of cancer, we decided to use it also as a fundraiser for local cancer care.
That's a good cause.
Yeah, and what I wanted to do was to support a local initiative so that whatever money that we were able to raise and give to them, it would have a direct impact. And I think a lot of the times when you're talking about like money for charities and stuff, there's the big players. There's like the United Way and whatever else, like, or the Heart Institute or like breast cancer, whatever. They get all the funds, and like I think the lesser known ones have to struggle even more. So and that's not like they're doing any less important work. Yeah. So we just said we supported the Ottawa Integrative. That's a word is so hard to say. Ottawa Integrative Cancer Center the first year, and then the second year we did the cancer ward at CHEO. Now I'm sounding a little hypocritical because CHEO is a huge organization, but it is locally located, and there's definitely not enough money in the world for treating and researching kids' cancer.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the 3rd annual.
This is it, yeah.
At House of Targ. Has it always been at House of Targ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and as long as it goes on, it will always be at House of Targ.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the only place to do it for sure.
Yeah, we all love House of Targ. And I was honored and privileged to get the invite.
Yeah.
That this year, on January 27th.
Saturday, January 27th.
When the Lemmy Re-Visited 3rd annual...
Re-Revisited,
since it's the 3rd.
Well, don't confuse people, because if they search it, it's Re-Revisited.
Oh, Re-Revisited.
If they look for Revisited, they'll be looking at the 2019 edition, and we haven't sorted that one out yet.
Oh, shit. Right. So we're honored. Goat is honored to play, and...
This is your second time, right? You guys were there the first year?
No, Sarah played.
Oh,
Sarah just played bass. She was in Goat at the time, but she played bass with Yogi and
right, yeah,
somebody else. So Goat was represented at the time, but but Goat did not play. So this is our first.
Well, cool, awesome. Glad to get you guys in here.
I'm super excited, and we have a few songs. Chris sent us a list of songs that were still available, and I think we picked out a few of them.
Yeah,
that worked out. I think we're gonna do about 4 songs.
Perfect.
Because we're not that good. So we're going to do our best, and we're going to do them very Goat style, I think.
That's the point. That's the mandate. It's for bands to do them in their own style. Like, well, I mean, listen, it's up to you how you want to do it, of course, but yeah, put your own perspective or take into it,
Cool. And that's what we have to do because Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So, normally around this time of Ego and Vice, we do our question period. I do
But haven't you been asking me questions this whole time?
Yeah, but these are more rapid fire questions, and I
Oh.
ask them of all guests that come on Ego and Vice. Do you want to do
Okay.
the rapid fire questions?
Sure, I didn't study for this, so like, don't judge me.
No, here they come.
Questions and answers, honesty lies. Yes, no, you can't, but you can if you know why.
Shit, you must be fuckered, man. Like, what's he talking about? Any questions?
So that was my theme song, as I always play before the question period. Like I said, I worked 3.5 minutes on that, so I'm really proud of it.
Sounded awesome.
Thanks, man. Okay, here we go. Chris Landry,
Mm-hmm.
rapid fire questions.
Hit me.
What is your biggest musical influence?
Probably Motorhead.
Elaboration, or just want to do rapid fire?
Well, I was
It's
thinking
up to
rapid
you.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's up to
well,
you.
like so it would have been like AC/DC was the first big influence, but Motorhead was a bigger influence. Lemmy being who he was, being someone that was like just very true to what he presented himself as. It was, you would never hear about a scandal with him. He would never let you down. He was just true, and that's like a very rare thing in life.
Very good. Second question.
Hmm.
What was the first record you bought with your own money?
Oh,
not
fuck.
inherited, but you actually went to the record store and forked over the Benjamins.
Oh
if you
man,
will.
it might have been Paul Simon's Graceland, or that might have been bought for me because there was like around Christmas time, and I got my first Ghetto Blaster. And if it wasn't Graceland, it was probably an AC/DC record on tape, obviously.
You don't remember a specific?
Shit, man. No, my memory's not that good.
All right, fair enough. Favorite local show of 2017? 2 questions. The one you played and the one you saw.
Oh man, all these tough questions. The favorite show that I played. Well, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say 2 shows. One was the album release for 155, which was May 12th at Irene's, because it was an amazing night. We had great support, and it was the release of the first album for this band, and it's like a really, really personal album to me. So that was like, yeah, I was really happy with that. And then the other one that I played was a tribute to my friend JS, who passed away in March of this year.
Was that Johnny Moon Hammock?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, John Sebastian. And so in July, we did like a JS Fest. There was like a baseball tournament and then a concert with like I don't know, 20 plus bands, all paying tribute to him. And I got Glorious Moon Rockets together for that. And that was, it was amazing. It was an amazing day, an amazing night. And for a tribute to an amazing guy.
That's a shame, and good on you.
Yeah, very sad for sure. Yeah, that's a huge loss.
Yeah, to all those who remember him, keep his memory alive. Next question.
Yeah.
I
didn't answer which was the best local show that I saw.
That you saw? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Shit, man, there's so many, and it's like so hard to pinpoint one. Like, when someone asks you something and you're like, you draw a blank because you're like thinking too hard. Let's come back to that one. I'll try and think, and like by the end of the podcast, maybe I'll have something.
Okay.
I'll dredge the memory banks.
We're gonna come back to the favorite show that Chris saw, and we'll go right to question 4.
Mm.
This is actually 3.5 because we're gonna come back to the question.
Yeah.
What is your desert island record? If you were stranded on like a desert island and you had one record to spend with until the buzzards got you.
Yeah. Oh man, these questions are tough, and I feel pressured because I have to answer them so quickly. But
No, take your time.
oh yeah, so it's not so rapid fire.
No.
I don't know the names of is it the Hawkwind album Masters of the Universe? So maybe that, or like Dark Side of the Moon, something like. Yeah, probably something like that. Either Dark Side of the Moon or that early Hawkwind, because there's so many. The albums are so intricate and there's so much to them that you could listen to them a million times and never get bored of listening to them.
Very good. Hawkwind, another Lemmy project.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would prefer it to be one of the earlier albums that he was on.
Okay.
For sure, yeah.
I'm gonna improv this one
Okay.
just because.
I've been improving my answers.
You and I are both cat lovers. We both
This is true.
we're both cat owners.
Yep. Well, they own us.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's gonna scratch my Marshall fridge. That motherfucker. I know
It's
it.
not a real amp.
I put that grill in front of it right there.
I thought you were gonna, 'cause there's a crossbow beside the fridge that you can't see. I thought you were going to say that you, the listener, can't see. I thought you were going to say you put the crossbow there as a warning to him, like, scratch my fridge.
I will.
and,
I'll shoot him right in the
and
ass.
You'll become
Anyway,
a pair of mittens.
if Lemmy could understand, this is totally improvised.
Lemmy's
If
my cat.
Lemmy
so-
is Chris's cat. If Lemmy could understand human goings on for 30 seconds, what advice would you give him?
Shut up. Just shut up. I've never not fed you. You've been fed on time.
Is he
every
a
time.
talker? Yeah.
Oh my God. No, I love. Actually, if you could understand anything, I would just be like, man, I love you so much.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck.
Lemmy. Okay. Do you want to go back to the best show you saw? Or you
I
want to
haven't
keep
even-
moving on?
Yeah, keep going because I hadn't been thinking
Okay.
about it. So I'm going to try.
These
and
aren't
think about
rapid fire. These are more like questions.
it. Okay.
I have 3 questions for you.
Yeah. Questions 3 I have.
And
for
they're
you.
very fitting to what we've been talking about, especially with like Lemmy Kilmeister, who is the deceased wonderful fucking legend that was Motorhead. And these are very structured around Chris's, I hope. Anyway, fuck. If Lemmy showed up at your front door, not your cat, but the actual man, if Lemmy showed up at your front door and he said he had 24 hours to party, what would you do?
I'd party with him.
But what would you do?
We would drink and play music. Yeah, it would have to be a jam. Combination of drinking and jamming, and like jamming and then drinking, and I would just let him tell me about his life and all the things he's seen and done.
You wouldn't take him to the casino and sit him down
No,
at
fuck
a gambling machine?
No. And I would
Feed him a Jack and Coke?
I haven't smoked in almost 5 years. I would start smoking again to smoke with Lemmy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no questions asked.
Okay. The next question. These aren't rapid fire though. You can
No,
elaborate.
this is great.
Okay.
I like this pace.
Being a proud Ottawa music supporter, fan, and sometime promoter, what are the best ways to get noticed in the local scene? If you were like a new band, or if you, from your opinion.
Make great music, and then once you've made something great, get it out on local radio. Like campus radio is the best. CKCU, CHUO, they're amazing stewards and supporters of local music. So yeah, that would be my recommendation.
How would you associate yourself or get to know like the people in Ottawa, like the other musicians?
Go to shows. Yeah, go to
Support.
go to as many shows as you can, and then just hang out there and meet people that way.
All right. And the second question on that same question is, what is the worst things bands can do, or artists? What are the worst things bands or artists can do?
Play covers. No, the worst thing bands or artists can do is not be just honest with their music or their take. Like, just be your fucking self. Not being yourself is the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah, that's fair. I've always said on this podcast, and when it comes to like local artists or local musicians, or you're in the scene, go out and just talk to people. Everybody are people. Everybody are people.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah, people are people, and most people are like pretty cool, but try to not be a dick.
Yeah.
And just be friendly and just go up and spark a conversation. I know it's not super easy for some people, but most of the artists and most of the people in bands in Ottawa are pretty cool people. And if you just want to go up and say hello, come up and say hello.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know.
Definitely.
You can make a friendship, and
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, it'll grow from there, and it's not like an overnight thing.
No.
Takes years, man. My band Goat has been together for almost 7 years, and we're still always meeting people and just conversating. Is that a word?
I hear people using it.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming part of the lexicon. At
We're
this
into
point.
we're into the dial a bottle now, so
Yeah.
this is the end, my friends. I think that's it for the rapid questions.
So, in terms of favorite shows, I'm still blanking. I know there was a bunch of really great shows. Now, when you said local, did it have to be local bands or shows that I saw locally?
Any show that you saw in 2017.
Yeah, so there was some really great shows at Ottawa Explosion this year, as there is every year. But seeing Bougie Boys live was fucking amazing. Holy shit, they were good.
Where are they from?
Montreal.
Okay.
Or Halifax? No. Ooh, yeah, I think Montreal. And I was like, and I'm wearing their shirt actually right now, but as like for B, not that they were any less, but I'd seen them before. And that was my first time seeing Bougie Boys, but FaZe, who are also from Montreal, who are fucking amazing.
What kind of music is it?
FaZe is hardcore, and Bougie Boys are like punk rock kind of stuff, like almost like a hyperactive Johnny Thunders kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
That's probably not the right comparison. They're awesome. Look them up. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we're going to play one more song from Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas.
Can I look at it? Because I don't
Sure.
remember all the songs that are on there now.
Of course.
Let's go with 2-bedroom. No, let's go with Writing to Explain, because I love the intro to that song.
Writing to Explain.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to play this song from Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas. This song is called Writing to Explain off of Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas 155. We're going to come back and we're going to wrap this up.
Why you wanna live with a rifle? Telling me about the underground. Why you run around with a casket? Telling me I gotta hold on tight. Ride along, pull me over. Haven't found what you're looking for, and it's getting late. I'm getting worried. I don't really want to say anymore, but I'm on the road, and you want me at home, and I'm writing to explain. Driving through, then I'm gone again. All my friends looking colder. Time was never on our side at all, and I'm sorry if I never warned you. Sorry if I kept you out too late, but I'm on the road. But you want me at home, and I'm writing to explain. Driving through, then I'm gone again, yeah. Time is falling faster. You could pay if you want to. Sorry if I never asked you. Sorry if I kept you out all night, but I'm on the road. But you want me at home, and I'm writing to explain. Driving through, then I'm gone again, yeah. I'm on the road, but you want me at home, and I'm writing to explain. Driving through, then
All right, that was Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas. That song was called Writing to Explain. Let's talk about running.
Oh shit. Like
Yeah.
From something?
Well, I don't know, running from the police, running from rabid dogs.
Running from the responsibilities of life.
the chupacabra, you never know. But you and I,
Yeah.
this last September, did the half marathon, the Army Run in Ottawa.
Yeah, we did that.
And we were just talking off air, because this is a radio show apparently.
This is legit.
We were talking about like running marathons and half marathons and shit.
Yeah.
And when did you start running?
I mean, I ran as a kid. I would run around when we played games and stuff.
No.
Oh, like, yeah. 6 or 7 years ago. Very casually.
Okay.
Like, I would just go out every now and then and run a little bit.
I was a smoker. I smoked a lot of cigarettes in
So
my
was
life.
I, yeah.
And I had a girlfriend that started running when she quit smoking. And at first I was just like, oh yeah, I go run. Yeah, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of the house for a couple hours. I could get some free time.
Get some smoking time.
Yeah, but then I quit smoking and I was like, okay, I'm going to run too. And I kind of followed her up on that whole thing. And then I started running local events. I started with like 5Ks and then 10Ks. Then I worked my way up to half marathons. And I've done 5 half marathons.
That's impressive.
Well, it is, but it's not as impressive. I guess if you're working for time and stuff, because you run like the fucking wind, you.
Well, I mean, again, it's perspective. Like, I run faster than some, but not as fast as others.
I did this year's half marathon, which was not my slowest, but it was like my 3rd slowest. I think I did it in 2 hours and 12 minutes, and you did it, which is 21.1 kilometers, which is the
It's
half
a
marathon.
long fucking way to
And you did
run.
your first half marathon this year in an hour and like, what, 40 minutes?
48.
Jesus.
Nah, I want like an hour and 40 or sub 140 is my goal.
That is some running, though. That's like you're giving her. Like, what's going through your brain when you're fucking like bulleting down the street?
Well, 1, just get it done. And 2, it's how good that beer is going to taste at the end of the race.
Isn't that always the goal, though?
Holy fuck, yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
And we were touching on whether you'd ever do a marathon.
Yeah, at this point, I don't see that happening. I'll do more halves. Like, I like that distance, and I think it's a distance where you can still run fast.
Mm-hmm.
At 140, you're really having to pace yourself. Well, at least for me, man. Like, to get to like 42 kilometers, man, I'd rather drive that than run it.
The beauty of what you did too is because I remember we were talking before the race even came up, and you would do like 10K or 15K or something like that.
Yeah, 15 was my max at that point.
And then the day that the half marathon came up, I think I asked you. I said, "Have you done the 21.1 yet?" You're like, "Nah,
No.
15."
Yeah, 15 was the max.
And I've always said whenever I'm running, like, you hit about 15, 16 kilometers, and that's when the fucking reality hits, and you're like, why am I here? What am I doing? And you still push through and got like 148. That's impressive as shit.
But your words came back to haunt me because I felt like I was going to die at about 14 and a half kilometers, realizing that there was like 6.5 more fucking kilometers to go.
You start passing the people like laying on the side of the road, which happens every year.
People started passing me at that point. That was what made it hard.
Oh,
I
yeah?
had to slow. Yeah, I had to slow right down. Like, it was killing it, and then I almost had to walk. I wouldn't let myself walk. It was fucking hot that day too. It was too hot.
It was hot, yeah. I walked very briefly through a couple of the shower stations. You know, where you get the water and they have the things.
Yeah,
so
revitalizing.
I would stop and I would just walk just through the shower and get super soaked, and then I would run again at my pace. But that's a hell of a thing, running.
It was intense.
Yeah.
Fun though, for some weird reason, I love it.
It's incredibly like satisfying, like when you cross that line and you do it. Yeah, it's a hell of a thing.
When they hand you that banana and that bagel, wow, that makes it all fucking worthwhile.
It's only half a banana. They give you half the banana.
Well, I
They give
guess
you-
when I went in, they was just boxes.
you got full bananas.
boxes of full bananas, man.
That's what the fast guys get is the full
Yeah,
bananas.
well, they know. Yeah, you've earned that full banana.
I got a warm chocolate milk.
Oh, because we've already eaten all the full bananas by
Oh,
the
I
time you
see.
guys get through there.
I got a warm chocolate milk, a half banana, and a quarter of a bagel.
I didn't see any chocolate milk.
Well, that's for the slow guys
I don't drink
because they
milk,
know that they're on the verge of death.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been. We're gonna wrap this up because we're deep into this.
Yeah, we went from music to running. Now we're off topic officially.
Oh yeah. Well, we've eaten like to anyone who thinks that this whole
You're gonna give away all the secrets.
No,
now.
they already know it. Anybody who listens to this whole podcast is not one stream of consciousness.
We've been here for a week.
There's a couple of edits and there's a couple of pauses. We've already eaten a full pizza. We've drinking a lot of beers.
Mm-hmm.
We went outside and we made snow angels. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. This has been the season finale of the Ego and Vice podcast. This is episode 13.
Lucky number 13.
Yeah, no, there you go.
I didn't know. Amazing. I'm glad I'm
Congratulations.
on 13. Yeah.
We've had Chris. I've had Chris Landry on the show, and he has.
You got to bring me back. Sorry to interrupt you. You got to bring me back for episode 666.
You're actually. I was about to say that he has actually agreed to come back for episode 20.
Yeah.
To take the helm and do
I'm going to grill you
and actually be the host. And he's going to interview me.
Yeah. I'm going to start working on questions tonight when I get home.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that should be January, February. That should be around March, I think.
And at that point, we'll probably both be getting ready for another race of some sort and maybe some shows too.
Yeah. I should start running. Well, the Motorhead show, which, let's promote that. That's coming up.
Yeah, January 27th at the House of Targ.
Cool. And it's us and Slumlord and Slim and Popular and...
Eagleson, Greg Harris, a.k.a. Lefty McRighty, is putting together a project for the show. I'm drawing a blank. Monobrow is going to do a set of Hawkwind songs. I think Slim and Popular is doing Hawkwind songs.
Cool.
We got a band from Hamilton coming up called Xanadu, which is apparently like a bunch of guys from different bands from Hamilton. I can't even remember how that came about. And I think that's all the bands. If I've missed someone, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's Saturday, January 27th at the House of Targ. We're supporting a charity called Phoebe Rocks, which is a couple in Ottawa who had a daughter who unfortunately passed away from leukemia, that they now offer support to families that are traveling over 200 kilometers for cancer care in Ottawa, and also donate money to childhood cancer research.
That's amazing. Great cause. Come support. Does Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas have anything coming up?
No, nothing locally. We're just working on recording right now.
All right. Next album?
Yeah.
Next record?
Yeah, we're about halfway through now, roughly.
Cool.
Yeah, there'll be a release show in the spring. That'll be the next thing. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So the next time you're going to see Goat is at the Motorhead tribute show. The Remy. Well, Remy might be there, but
he's going to sing Ace of Spades.
Is he?
Yeah.
With you guys?
No, I'm looking at my phone here to see if the list of bands to see if I missed any. But he as Remy Royale. What he does is he sings, if you're not familiar with Remy Royale, he's like a one-man lounge karaoke kind of thing. So he sings along to these electronic backing tracks of popular songs. Mm-hmm. As far as Motorhead goes, the only like sort of Muzak version of Motorhead that he could find was Ace of Spades. So I give him that one, or I ask him to play that one every year, and he's doing it. So.
That's the golden goose, though, when it comes to Motorhead, no? Everybody wants to play that one?
Man, not too many people ask for that song. I think just because it's a great song, but it's like, I think if you're a real, I don't want to say a real fan, but if you're like a real deep Motorhead fan or Lemmy fan, mm-hmm. there's probably things in there that Ace of Spades is the gateway song that gets you into Motorhead. And then there's a whole catalog of songs that are just as good or if not better than that song.
Yeah, fair enough.
And more fun to play. For me, it's Bomber, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think Goat is playing Eat the Rich. We're playing Rock and Roll. We're playing Too Good to Be True, which is super later. I think it's like 92.
Yeah.
Around 92.
It's definitely not classic Motorhead.
But it's like the punk rock Motorhead song. It's like really melodic, and I've always loved that song. Too good to be true.
It's good later Motorhead, for sure.
Yeah, it's good. But we're playing some earlier stuff, and we aim for 5, but we'll probably only do 4 because my drummer has problems like learning things. I love you, Mike. But you do.
Filthy's not easy to cop.
Yeah.
He's got his own style, that Filthy beat.
Uh-huh. Okay, so like I said, this is the end of episode 13. This is going to be a 2-parter, so I guess you're listening to the...
if you've made it this far.
Yeah, I guess you're listening to the end of part 2 of myself and Chris Landry. And like I said, Chris is going to be back for episode 20 to interview my sorry ass. So thank you very much. I guess Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays and all that.
Yeah,
Merry
if you
Christmas,
follow
happy
that kind of
holidays.
stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, this has been Ego and Vice. Thanks for coming out, bud.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, we'll see you next year.
Morning's first light, things ain't alright. Hope I can hear you today. Miles away, and it's further each day. Time stands as we all fall down. Spaces between all the things that we've seen, hands that we've held over time. Your face, it shines behind dark lines. Time stands as we all fall down. Evening you come, and I'm only one, circling your name in mine. And behind dark doors, it's just me and the floor. Time stands as we all fall down. Time stands as we all fall down. Time stands as we all fall down.
That was part 2 of my interview with my good buddy Chris Landry of Chris Landry and the Seasick Mommas. I ended that with a song called Time Stands because that's my favorite Seasick Mommas song. You can find Chris Landry at seasickmommas.bandcamp.com. You can go on Facebook and look up Chris J. Wizard and send him a like, send him a friend. If you see him at the bar, buy him a drink. He likes beer. All right, cool. So this has been, for sure, the season finale of Season 1 of Ego and Vice. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always email me at egoandvice@gmail.com. You can check out the website at egoandvice.com. If you want to be on the show, if you want to just say hello, if you want your band showcased, just reach out. That's what I'm here for. And I will do my best to get you on, talk to you, and just, here we go. I am going to return January 8th for the season premiere of Ego and Vice Season 2. I have a really good friend of mine. Her name is Sarah Destruction, who's going to be in South Hood Studio, and she's going to help me ring in the new year, ring in the new season of Ego and Vice, and we're just going to keep going. And 2018 should be a good one. To all my friends, stay safe. Have a great holiday, and just be with your friends and be with your family, and let them know how much you care about them. And it's been a great year. 2017 has been a great year. It's been a fucked up year, but it's been a great year. And if you have people to celebrate that with or enjoy that with every day, remember your friends and your family are the most important things in the world. So that's it for me. As always, my name is Mike, and I'm your host for Ego and Vice. And that's it. We'll see you next year. Take care.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.